So
Okay.
KJ Wright, ex Seahawks linebacker, has his own YouTube channel. You can go check it out. He made the announcement on his YouTube channel. I
Mhm.
really recommend reading the comments because it's pure gold. They obviously hate the 49ers over there. They can't stand the fact that he's going to be coaching with the 49ers,
It burns.
but it burns them big time, just like Sherman coming over here, I'm sure did. They absolutely hate it. But that being said, KJ Wright knows his stuff, man. He really does. And he could have sat back, he's got like 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's probably making decent money with his sponsors, and he could have chilled and done just fine, I'm sure. But he wants to get into coaching, and that is not an easy route, especially as an assistant coach and kind of cutting your chops and earning your way up. Tried to get in with the Seattle Seahawks. That made the most sense. Was unable to do so, but the 49ers came calling and said, hey, you can come here. You can be our assistant linebackers coach. What are your thoughts on this whole deal?
I like it. I mean, we get another young guy in here who's conscientious. He also had a great career himself. And another homegrown talent in development. I mean, it's the same track that D'Amico Ryans took when he got here. There's no coincidence in that. He's around Johnny Holland, which is one of the best linebacker coaches in the league. He's being able to come up not only on one of the best defenses in the league, but a defense that runs precisely what he played in and what he knows. And his unit is one of the best units in the NFL. And he's going to be coaching one of the best linebackers in the NFL. I mean, right now it's a win-win-win-win. He's got to be able to come in here and inject more of what he brought year after year in Seattle against us. I'm happy and excited that he can bring it in here with us, right? Like right now, being able to have KJ Wright in our locker room and on our team is, you got to look at it this way. This is something that I feel like fans don't realize as well. Coaches, you really don't look at coaches being too old to coach, right? You know, Bill Belichick is in his 70s. Pete Carroll was in his 70s. Nick Saban was in his 70s, right? So the thing about that is that I think fans don't necessarily understand the effect of maybe an older coaching staff or on a team, right? And not to say that older coaching staffs are bad for a team, but you do need a balanced coaching staff. You know, think of a team as like a family, okay? And if the coach is the father, then you need some uncles along the way, and then you need some cousins on the coaching staff along the way, because you need different types of avenues to be able to get different types of information from players on the team. You need the guys to be able to be related to with, like we talked about, evangelizing the edict, the morale, the actual scheme. You get that, but then you also need guys there that relate to these boys from a playing standpoint of, I didn't play in the 80s, I didn't play in the 90s, I played in the 2000s, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that I picked up on a
He
day-to-day
played
basis.
2 years ago. He literally
Right.
played 2 years ago. He's younger than Trent
Exactly.
Williams.
Exactly. So it's like, that's something that I'm very excited to have on our locker room, especially with Deshaun Goldson. He came in and he's on top and he's in our enclave. So for me, I think that it's good because it gives our coaching staff more depth. We're more rounded, right? We do have an older, more veteran laden coaching staff that has been around. I mean, at one point, Kyle was the boy wonder, but now, I mean, he's well into his 40s, right? Things never stop. So adding more youth into the coaching staff, being able to uh get with these guys and understand what's happening. This is where a guy like KJ Wright is an asset. He's an asset on game day because that's where the bigger players are going to respect him, the starters, right? Because he's going to be able to give real time coaching as to what you should be doing right now in the situation. Fuck
Yep.
practice. What's
Yep.
happening right now? But where you get your bang for your buck is all of the young players that are developing, they're going to be hitched to KJ Wright during practice, because that's what KJ Wright is going to have to do during practice. So during practice, he's going to be having all the babies, all of the rookies and the young guys to develop them and molding those puppies with big paws. And then on game day, he's going to double down and be more of an asset because he's going to have the credibility and the respect, and guys are going to listen to him. So I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. I think anytime you can bring in an ex player, especially one that played this recently, that can only help things. Obviously, it was a spot that they needed to fill. And we saw how D'Amico Ryans was able to shape his coaching career and really move up very, very quickly while here in San Francisco. Maybe KJ Wright can do the same thing. He's just 2 years removed from playing, does tons of film study, loves the game. You can tell he just digs it. You go watch his channel, there's passion for the game all over it. He knows what he's talking about. And as somebody said, I'll bring up the super checks. I thought this was good. It was like, hold on, where's it at? KJ should just suit up and play. We need a linebacker anyways. I mean, he's not too old, right? He decided to retire, but he's close enough to where he really can get the best out of these guys. He really can like show off, hey, this is what it should look like. This is what the expectation is. This is how you can get better. Somebody else made the comment like, hey, we got Jalen Graham and Winters. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So whenever you have a smart player, a Super Bowl winning player, and one that just recently retired, I think it's always great to add that to the staff. Now, I know a lot of people are like, hey, Richard Sherman would be great to add to the staff, maybe as a DC. It's very hard to go from player or analyst straight to a big move like DC. But an assistant linebacker coach, I can get behind this. I absolutely can get behind this. And we may not have him for a long time because he is intelligent and I think he will show his worth. But if he can stay here and develop, I could see him potentially being the future DC in 4 or 5 years here in San Francisco as well.
I like that. I mean, also what you said is true. Like being able to have the guys in here and just trust the continuity that they have with a player like this, it can only do wonders for us, right? Having a young guy in here that the guys trust is going to be good for us. And he could be a potential like big time hire for us down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get to a couple of these super chats. Dave Barclay says, "What up, guys? Brother Bob and everyone else." Brother Bob says, "Nails is arrogant and Coach is late." Good seeing y'all.
Hey, yo, he just be jumping off the third turnbuckle.
Well, the arrogant things from Twitter. Somebody said that they thought I was arrogant. So I think he's taking that. Yeah, to him specifically. Daryl Granville, member for 13 months. Appreciate you, Daryl. Says, does KJ Wright's hire strengthen the defense? Yeah. I don't think it can hurt. I definitely doesn't hurt things. I love it. I love the hire. Really, I do. So that one, it's crazy that I'm more excited about the assistant linebacker coach hire than I am the DC itself. So I think it's going to be a good thing. And like I said, Sorensen could be just fine, but it just doesn't get me excited.
Also, one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. One thing that I also wanted to bring up about Richard Sherman that I feel like a lot of times people kind of sweep under the rug that doesn't get brought up is that he's not qualified. Like, I understand he's Uncle Sherm. I get that. And I know that he had a great career. That's true. But having a great career and coaching are two different careers. You don't get to just lateral in. It doesn't work that way. And KJ Wright is doing it the right way. No matter how hard he played, no matter all of the accolades he pulled, coaching is like a legit profession. And you can't just come in and think that you're going to be able to be a defensive coordinator for your first time coaching. Like, that doesn't play. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we would be a serious organization even if we considered that.
No, it's not realistic. It is not to come in and be a defensive coordinator after never coaching. That would be awful. That's something that's a chance that a bad organization might take.
Yeah.
But the 49ers, no, absolutely not. And I know that we grill them. We want them to win a Super Bowl, but it's still a very good organization. No chance in hell that would ever happen.